Hello, this is James Schofield, the creator of Behind the Bottom Line and the writer of this season's detective story, Peril in Venice. And as you might guess, it takes place in Venice and it starts like this. It was the year a shark was seen swimming down the Grand Canal. Can't get a much better start than that. Eat your heart out, Scott Fitzgerald. What's it about? Young executive Emily Lee just wants to get away from everything and go to Venice for a holiday because after her most recent job, she's exhausted. For Emily, this had been a shocking experience. She had been selected by a senior manager at Burger Build to look at the finances of a big project after the project accountant had committed suicide. To her horror, she found out that he was not only stealing money from the company, he'd also been murdered. So off Emily goes to Venice, and she goes first of all to stay at a spa centre, the Advanced Centre for Wellness and Meditation, which seems like an ideal place to go in order to recharge her batteries. Emily went to her room. It had a small balcony and she leant on the rail looking up at the night sky, the warm air full of the scent of the jasmine that climbed the walls of the buildings. Now when she gets there, she finds that some of the other guests are a little bit strange. Dottie Van Mies came towards Leonie and Emily in a cloud of expensive perfume, silk scarves, several miles of necklaces, and bright green lipstick. But Emily's glad to be there. On the last night of her stay, though, something happens. A short scream suddenly woke her. She went onto the balcony. Outside, two men were fighting. Milos had Paolo pressed up against the wall of the restaurant with his hands around his neck, while Maria was pulling at Milos's arms. Well, soon after this, the police find Paolo's body floating in the lagoon, and Maria, who was Emily's fitness instructor, has gone missing. Emily is joined in Venice by her good friend Filippo, and together they not only explore Venice. He turned left away from the main tourist street into a narrow alley, which led into a different square, and suddenly, as if by magic, they were in a different world. Small children kicked a ball around with a tiny dog chasing it. At a bar in the corner, old men stood and discussed the latest football scandal, while their wives leant out of their windows to chat or shout at the children below. Washing hung from lines on the balconies, and a small kiosk in the middle was covered in hundreds of different magazines and CDs. And, of course, Emily and Filippo have to face danger as they try to track down Paolo's killer and rescue Maria. Suddenly, the man pinched her arm very hard and pulled his other hand out from behind his back. It held a thin knife, and on the end was the head of a fish, pierced through the eye. He held it very close to her face. Foul-smelling liquid dripped onto her neck and her clothes. So, if you like Italy and you enjoy detective stories, then listen to Peril in Venice. It's over 10 episodes, starting on, and note this, October the 6th. Got that? October the 6th. Behind the Bottom Line is available on Spotify, Apple and Google Player, and any other podcast player that you might like. So subscribe now to make sure you don't miss any episodes, and you can also check out my website www.behindthebottomline.com while you're waiting, and you'll find there lots of other short stories that I've written for various publishers over the years. So remember, October the 6th, listen out for episode 1 of Peril in Venice, and I hope you'll join me together with all my other listeners.